Okay, class. Good morning and good afternoon. This video was opted for to record my lecture because of the reasons for internet connections. Okay, today the lesson that I'm going to discuss is about uh, organic chemistry. Okay, to start up with, let's discuss organic chemistry as the study of the compounds of carbon. Okay, and when you talk about carbon, this is a tetrahedral element. Organic compounds are basically made up of carbon and only of other elements. So mostly those elements that will be attaching to carbon are hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Okay, and now, again, I would be repeating that. Exceptions for carbon-containing compounds are carbon dioxide because it is not considered to be organic compound. Okay. So there were also other attached elements or elements that would be attaching themselves to carbon and hydrogen. There are the sulfur, phosphorus, and halogens, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. Okay. So later on, you would see that organic compounds will be basically named depending on what types of element will be attaching to their ends, or basically these types of elements. Now, when you talk about organic chemistry, this is actually a separate discipline. This is a separate discipline within chemistry. Okay, because sometimes our scientists believe that vital force present in living organisms was necessary to produce an organic compound. Dati kasi in organic chemistry lang, and eventually nag-emerge yung organic chemistry. Okay, because of the mixtures of those inorganic compounds produces organic compounds. This was an experiment by Huller in 1828. It was the first in a series of experiments that leads in the demise of the vital force theory. Okay. Now, the sheer number of organic compounds, like when chemists have discovered or made over 10 million organic compounds, and an estimated 100,000 new ones are discovered or made each year. So chemists were able to compare them and discovered an estimated of 1.7 million in organic compounds. So now we had an approximate of 85% of all known compounds are organic. So actually organic chemistry is now is a link to biochemistry. You cannot understand biochemistry when you don't pass through the discipline of organic chemistry. So what is biochemistry? This is the study of the macromolecules or the biomolecules that they typically called. And these are the carbohydrates, the lipids, the proteins, the enzymes, the nucleic acids. Okay, and under them, we also have hormones, the vitamins, and almost all other chemicals in the living systems are organic uh, compounds. Okay. Now, let's us first compare organic and inorganic compounds. Okay, so in terms of their bonding, when you say organic, they are entirely covalent, while inorganic, they are mostly ionic. Organic compounds may be gases. They can be liquids or solids with low melting points, which is less than 360 degrees Celsius. But when we talk about inorganic compounds, they are mostly solids and they have high melting points. Okay. Organic compounds are insoluble in water in terms of polarity, while inorganic compounds are soluble in water. Dito yung likes dissolve likes. Okay. Most are soluble in organic solvents such as diethyl ether, toluene, and dichloromethane, while inorganic compounds are insoluble in organic solvents. Okay, yun yung dahilan kung bakit hindi nalulusaw yung mantika sa tubig, or they are not miscible because water cannot dilute oil. So aqueous solutions do not conduct electricity. Again, before I already discussed what is the meaning of aqueous. Okay, while aqueous solutions conduct electricity in organic compounds. Okay, so if there would be an experiment that will be integrated here, the use of bulb and copper wires could show you how does inorganic compounds really conduct electricity. When you burn organic compounds, they almost all burn, no? Tsaka mabaho kasi yung carbon. Samantalang when you burn inorganic compounds, konti lang ang nasusunog. Okay. When you expect a reaction from organic compounds, reactions are very slow. Whereas sa inorganic, reactions are often very fast. Okay. So these are the organic structure. So you would see here the structural formula. Okay. So you see here the structural formula. Okay. So let's move on to, okay. Now, this is the structural formula. It shows the atoms present in a molecule as well as the bond that connects them. So, structural formulas in organic chemistry follows the VSEPR model. These are the most common bond angles, which is 109.5 degrees, 120 degrees, and 180 degrees. Okay. Okay. Lolo ko yung slides. Okay. Now, you see this is an ethane which follows the angle of 109.5. This is ethylene which follows the bond angles of 120 degrees, and acetylene which follows the bond angles of 180 degrees. So tingnan yung mabuti, no? Why does ethylene follows such angle as compared to ethane? Okay, kasi yung presence ng double bond. Ganun din sa acetylene, no? Kaya nag 180 degrees, halos straight na siya kasi yung presence ng triple bond. And chloroethane, obviously, because it's still an ethane, 109.5. Methanol, okay. So dito nyo titingnan yung angle. Asan na ba yung pen? Okay, so dito nyo titingnan yung angle, no? Here, the angle, that angle. Okay. Okay, so dito natin nakikita yung angle kung bakit sumusunod sa VSEPR theory. Now, among neutral and charged organic compounds, carbon normally forms 4 covalent bonds. Sinasabi ko na to dati, no, na ang carbon ay hindi pwedeng unshared. Sa hydrogen, it forms 1 covalent bond at walang unshared pairs of electron. Okay, if you would look back at the periodic table sa prelim lesson natin, you would see that nitrogen normally forms 3 covalent bonds and has 1 unshared pairs of electron. Okay, oxygen normally forms 2 covalent bonds and has 2 unshared pairs of electrons. Halogen only forms 1 covalent bond and has 3 unshared pairs of electrons. So balikan nyo na lang yung lesson natin ng prelim. Okay. So what are the functional group? Functional groups are atom or group of atoms within a molecule that shows a characteristic sets of predictable physical and chemical properties. Mahalagang functional group because ito yung magbabigay sa inyo ng identity ng organic compounds. They undergo the same types of chemical reactions no matter in which molecule they are found. There were two large measures. They determine the chemical and physical properties of a molecule. There are the units by which we divide organic compounds into families. So this is a means of classifying them based on IUPAC. They provide the basis on which we derive names from organic compounds. Okay, so we have 6 common functional group here. So this is the family, this is the family, this is the functional group, and these are the example and the name. Okay, let's start with alcohol. So if you see the functional group of alcohol, it's represented by a hydroxyl group or hydroxide. So this is an example. This is an ethanol because it contains only 2 carbon. Okay, and the hydroxyl group, okay, so it's called ethanol. Okay, so when you call about amine or amine, okay, this is actually an amino. Okay, an amino, NH2. So again, this is ethanamine or ethanamine because it is made up of 2 carbon and an amine functional group. Okay, how about for aldehyde? Dito medyo malilito kayo kasi lahat sila ay may carbon double bonded to oxygen, di ba? Okay. So, mahalaga na malaman nyo kung paano nyo sila ma-identify sa loob ng isang organic compound, no? How will you differentiate them? Pag tiningnan mo ang aldehyde, okay, it's a carbon double bonded to oxygen na mayroong hydrogen. Okay. How was it different to ketone? Ang ketone, pwede siyang nasa gitna ng dalawang carbon. Okay? Nasa gitna siya ng dalawang carbon. Yung carboxyl, yan. Yung carbon double bonded to oxygen. So that's a ketone. So aldehyde, yung isa, carbon dito, di ba? Yung isa naman dito ay hydrogen. How about carboxylic acid? Pag carboxylic acid naman, pareho din, no? Carbon bonded to, double bonded to oxygen, but there is a hydroxyl group, okay, at the end. Okay, so that's how you would be differentiating aldehyde from ketone from carboxylic acid. How about carboxylic ester? Carboxylic acid siya na merong radical sa dulo. Okay, so kailangan dito talaga kabisado nyo or ma-memorize nyo because it's very important. Okay, now let's go for alcohols. Ano ba yung alcohol? So again, sinabi ko kanina na may hydroxyl group. Okay, attached to a tetrahedral carbon. For example, ethanol. Okay, so here, the functional group are there is a carbon here, okay? There's a hydroxyl group here, okay? Ito, ito hydrogen, okay? So, structural formula, ganito siya. Then, the condensed form. So, mahalaga rin ngayon na maintindihan nyo, how would you be differentiating structural formula from condensed structural formula? Okay, what is the meaning? Pag condense, bibilangin mo na kung ilan. Ito kasi i-structure mo lang to eh. Pero dito, ilalagay mo na kung ilang carbon ba dito sa una, ilang hydrogen ang naka-attach. Sa pangalawa, ilang hydrogen ang naka-attach. Okay. Okay. So this is what we call condensed structural formula. Ang alcohol can be classified to be primary, secondary, or tertiary. Hindi siya degrees, no? Primary ang tawag dyan. Primary, secondary, and tertiary. So, paano natin malalaman ang pinagkaiba ng primary, secondary, at tertiary? Okay. So, we had a problem here. Draw Lewis structures and condense structural formulas for the 2 alcohols with the molecular formula of C3H8O. So, anong gagawin mo munang una? I-drawing mo muna yung carbon. Okay. Siyempre, linear to, no? So, you have 1, Okay, we have 1, you have 2, and you have 3. Okay, carbon. Okay. So sabi dito, mayroon siyang 8, no? So dito, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pang-8 yung hydroxyl group niya. So ito na yon. So you write the condensed formula. Okay. So iba yung structural formula. This is structural. Sorry. This is the molecular, this is the structural, and this is the condensed structural formula. Okay, magkakaiba yon, ha? Okay, now, you have a condensed structural formula, CH3, CH2, CH2OH. So, this is a primary alcohol. Bakit primary to? Kasi yung alcohol ay naka-attach dun sa unang carbon. Okay? Sa dulo, sa right side. Okay. Ito naman secondary because if you number this one, 1, okay, this is 2, and this is 3, the hydroxyl group was now attached to the second carbon. Kaya siya secondary. Okay. Now, let's go for an amine or amine. Amine is a compound containing the amino group. It can also be primary, secondary, and tertiary. Kaya lang, how are you going to compare kung pareho lang ba siya ng primary, secondary, tsaka tertiary ng alcohol? Okay, let's look. So this is a methyl amine, okay, or primary amine because there is one amine attached to the first carbon. So that's primary amine, okay? So 2-amine, okay, is in the middle of 2 carbon, diba? Okay. So this is a dimethylamine. Okay. Iba't natag amine, okay? Dimethylamine. But me, I called it amine, okay? So trimethylamine naman is attached to 3. So magkaiba siya, no? If you're going to look back at the naming of alcohol and amine, so they are different because here, binilang kung ilan ang nakadikit na carbon para masabi kung siya ay primary, secondary, or tertiary amine. Okay. Now, let's have a problem here about amines. Okay, you draw what's this? Draw a condensed structural formula for the 2 primary amines with the molecular formula C3H9N. Okay. Paano to? Binigyan ka ng isang molecular formula pero sabi mag-drawing ka ng dalawang primary amine. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Yung situation lang, yung location lang. Okay. So, meron kang 3 carbon, di ba? Okay. Meron kang isang amine. Okay. So, sabi dito, the 3 carbons may be bonded to nitrogen in 2 ways, no? Sa dalawang paraan. Okay. So, ito yung una, ito yung pangalawa. Okay, 'di ba? Kasi pinag-uusapan lang naman natin dito ilang amine group or ilang carbon ang didikit dun sa amine na functional group. Okay. So ito this one, ito na yung condensed formula nito ha. This is the condensed formula of this one. Sorry. Hindi pa ako gumagamit ng okay, that one. Okay. Ito naman, ito 'yon, no? This one. Okay. So you add 7 hydrogens to give each carbon 4 bonds and give the correct molecular formula. So pag binigyan ka ng ganitong klase ng molecular formula, okay, mag-drawing ka lang ng structure na magkaiba. Ito nakadikit dun sa first carbon, siya naman nilagay dun sa second carbon. So kung babalikan natin, no? Okay. Oh, dimethylamine, dalawang CH3, di ba? Methylamine, okay, isang CH3. Okay, ngayon, balikan natin to. Okay. Ma'am, bakit CH3? Isang CH3 lang to ha. CH3, CH3, okay. Two primary amines. This one is CH3, CH2, CH2, NH2. Okay, so isang SCH3 pa rin. Ito ay CH3. Okay, so doon pa rin siya nakadikit sa isa lang, ha? Okay. So if you have any questions, possibly when we met now, I could be explaining more, okay? Now let's go for the aldehydes and ketones. And how do you differentiate aldehydes and ketones? Pareho silang may carbonyl group. Carbon bonded, double bonded to oxygen. Aldehyde contains carbonyl group bonded to a hydrogen. Okay, yung kanina, balikan nyo mamaya yung slides na pinakita ko kanina. So, sa formaldehyde, the simplest aldehyde, the carbonyl group is bonded to two hydrogens. Okay. Samantalang, pag sinabi nating ketone, ang ketone ay isang carbonyl group na nakaband sa dalawang carbon atom. So this is an example of an aldehyde. Okay, you look at the tingnan nyo yung definition nito, no? So this is an acetaldehyde. Okay. Two hydrogen, di ba? Two hydrogen. This is the one hydrogen. Okay. Okay, tapos yung hydrogen dito. Okay. So pag ketone naman, it contains a carbonyl group, di ba? This is a carbonyl group bonded to two carbon. So this is carbon, this is carbon. Maiintindihan nyo siya kung naka-structural formula. Okay. Mahirap siyang maintindihan pag naka-condense. Kaya it's very important that you have to master writing a structural formula first before you would be learning how to write a condensed formula. Okay. So let's have another problem here. Okay. Draw condensed structural formulas of the two aldehydes with the molecular formula C4H8O. Okay, sabi dito, magsulat ka muna ng functional group ng aldehyde. So inuuna talaga yung functional group ng aldehyde. Okay, kailangan kasi kabisado muna yung functional group. And then, okay, so ito yung functional group ng aldehyde, di ba? That one, okay? Then add the 7 hydrogens necessary to complete the 4 bonds of each carbon. Sabi dito, meron siyang 4 na carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Kung susulatin mo ng structural formula yan, ilan yung hydrogen mo? 3, diba? 3, 5, okay. 7, okay. And this is the 8 hydrogen, okay? Or you could rewrite that by using this one. Dito kasi, hindi mo na mapapakita kung ano yung bond, kung single bond ba siya o double bond. Okay. Pero eventually, matututunan nyo rin na pag ganito pala, okay, this is an aldehyde. Okay? Wherein sa ketones naman, okay, you look at this, di ba? Okay. Sabi nga dito, okay, so this is another way, CH3, CH2, okay, sorry. Okay, CH. Okay. Okay, so let's go now for the carboxylic acid. Sabi dito, pag sinabing carboxylic acid, this is a compound containing a COOH or a carboxyl group or carbonyl group with the hydroxyl. Sorry, correction. When you say carboxyl group, it says that a carbonyl is added to a hydroxyl, ha? Okay, pasensya na. Carbonyl is carbon, double bonded only to oxygen. So in a condensed structural formula, a carboxyl group may also be written as this one. So tatandaan nyo to, no? Okay, ito yung how a carboxyl group may be written. Balikan natin. Okay, this is how an aldehyde can be written, CHO. Okay. So, yan. So, this is the functional group. And this is the, okay, functional group. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo talaga alam kung, okay. Pero dito, oh, ito na yung tamang structural formula niya. This is an acetic acid. Ito yung carbonyl group. At ito naman yung hydroxyl group. It's a COOH. And it is a carboxylic acid. Okay? So let's have a problem here. Draw condensed structural formulas. The single carboxylic acid with the molecular formula of C3H6O2. Okay, sabi, no? I-drawing mo muna yung functional group. Ayan, drawing mo muna yon. Kasi kinuha mo na, okay, carboxylic acid to. Okay, I will be drawing a carbonyl group and a hydroxyl group. Okay, then sabi, there were 3 carbons. So, meron ka na isang carbon dito, dalawa na lang idadagdag mo, no? Okay. So, you could write this like this one or like this one. So, yung structures ay ganito itsura niya. Okay. So, yung mga black ay ito yung carbon, no? This is the carbon. Okay, you have 3 carbon here. Okay, and then these are the hydrogen. Ayan, yung mga hydrogen yan, ha? Okay. Oh, these are the hydrogen elements. Okay. So, ganyan siya. Okay, now, how about carboxylic ester? A derivative of carboxylic acid which the H of the carboxyl group is replaced by a carbon group. Okay, anong pinagkaiba niya? Derivative siya ng yung carboxylic acid pero no, okay, papalitan ng carbon yung hydrogen. Instead of writing COOH, it is a COO. Okay. So, carbon. So, pag carbon, nakabanda naman ng iba-ibang ilang klase ng hydrogen dyan. So, ito yon, no? This one. Yan. This is a carboxylic ester. Okay. Or it can be written like this one, or it can be written like this one. Sa una lang siya mahirap, pero pag nakabisado nyo naman ay, okay, mahalaga lang na if you're given a structure like this, alam mo na double bonded yung carbon dyan dito. Yung isang carbon sa oxygen. Okay. Okay, so I think that is the end of the lesson.